Okay, so now if you are an attacker, you have access to a compromised machine. Okay, now I'm not talking about Windows operating system platform. I'm talking about a Linux device. So after compromising a Linux device, after getting the access on the terminal for Linux device, what you expect to run, what you will do after that, right? Most people working in cybersecurity, they might not have understanding what commands can attacker execute, right? If they are investigating on a Linux device which is possibly compromised, what the command they should look for in the terminal. So understand guys, whenever attacker get the access, they are running commands in the terminal on the different shells, and in Linux device there are different variety of the cells available. Now I'm referring another websites. Basically this website is telling me about the information which can be run on a Linux device. This is good for you if you are new to Linux. I'm giving you the information about the command, what is the intention, the purpose of running those commands. This will be good in terms of the attacking, in terms of the investigation and analysis also, because when we are getting these commands in the logs, we might not understand what is the purpose of running these commands, what will happen with attacker running these commands. If you know this command, then might be you can correlate it with the activity by the user account. You can correlate this activity of command execution on the Linux device and to understand if this is possibly something suspicious or not. So now I will share my screen, and today is day 15, and we will be covering the Linux commands here. Let me now share my screen. Okay, I will not take any credit for these commands because I have not written these commands. I am just referring through a blog git-tower.com, right? And I'm using this website to give you the information. I can also write, but usually I don't have time in business days, right? So in working days or the weekdays, right? But I want to share the knowledge, and knowledge can be come from anybody, right? Any source. So if, for example, attacker has compromised the machine, the Linux machine, they would like to browse the different folders. They would like to understand where they currently exist, in which path they're running these commands. So the pwd is the command. Pwd is present working directory, right? So basically it will tell us that if you run this command, it will tell you, okay, you are under root directory, you are under etc directory, right? Everything in Linux is treated as a file only. Okay, so that the main root directory is represented by the forward slash, and then after there's different sub files, subdirectories or directories inside into that. So if you want to know where you are currently are, you can run the pwd command to see the path. cd, basically when you want to change the directory, you want to move from folder A to folder B, then you can use the cd change directory command, and then you can mention the path. You can mention the absolute path on the relative path also. Absolute path, that means you are giving the full path starting with the root directory, or relative path is something you are giving the reference of the subdirectory if you already exist in the parent directory. Cd dot dot representing to take one step back and move to the previous folder or the previous directory. If I would say single dot, that represent a current directory, and then two dots represents the previous directory. ls-la command basically lists out all the files, the dates, the size, the ownership on that file, the group assigned to, and including any hidden files also. So -l is showing the long list, -a is representing and showing the hidden files. mkdir, and that you can put in a name like abc, dex, whatever. That means attackers or admins or that somebody have creating a folder. Okay, make directory is a kind of command which runs by the admins or by the attacker also sometimes for creating a folder. Let me see if we have any comments so far. No comments. Okay, I will moving forward. Then this was for the directory path. Now I'm coming to the files part. Right, rm basically removing the files. If you have something you want to delete a file, you can use the command rm and the file name. But if you want to remove all a folder and all the sub files into that, then you can use hyphen r recursively delete all the folders in the files, right? And if you want to force something to delete, right, because sometimes you don't have the permissions, you don't have the authority, the process is running in the background, right? You might see the file is open, you cannot delete the file is already open in the application. You can run usually this command rm-f and the file name. If you want to move one file to different folder, then you can use the mv command to move from one path to the another path, the file name. And similarly we can do the same command for the directory also. cp is creating a duplicate copy of that file or directory, right? Hyphen r recursively copying the content and putting all the in a different folders, copying them to another directory. Touch basically is another utility would say to create a file name. So if you want to update or modify any file, right, you can use touch commands. We can also create a different command with the touch cat command. Okay, now we look for the output, right? So to read in a file, to read a file, you can use a cat, the file name. You will see the content of that file. You will see the less space file. It will show you the top down, I believe. Output using the less command, which puts. Okay, it's basically there are three commands: more, less, head. Head will show you the top 10 commands. Less will show you the command, if you have a page, multiple pages, then you can browse through the less and more commands. So it will help you to navigate easily. CMD basically, CMD, let me read about it. CMD, you are giving a direction. Okay, I got it. So CMD basically the commands you run, because I'm just reading it first time also. I'm not prepared anything. I'm telling you with my experience, right? So I'm just going through these commands. I'm familiar with it. I'm telling you. If I have doubts, I'm just going through in front of you now only. CMD means here like some command you're running, and you can redirect the content to another file. So if you're running a command like ipconfig, that will ifconfig, because ipconfig works in Windows, ifconfig works in Linux-based operating systems, and you can redirect the output to a file. If you want to append that file, you can use two different uh, arrows, similarly like this, right? Greater than, right? I'm not wrong. Yeah. Is it in the code? Okay, no. Okay, then you can also give one command output to the second command as an input by running two different command. This command I would say I have used sometime when I'm using, I'm delimiting the file by space. I'm running ipconfig. I want to see only the IP address. I'm fetching some keywords. So based on that, I'm using two different commands. So one command output will be input for the second command. Clear, basically clearing all the commands on that particular window. That's a window, it's a terminal. Yeah. Permission. So this is important thing, guys, because you might see this command is being running. The read, write, execute permissions. Basically, ch mode is used to modify the permissions on the file, and changing the permission of directory and subdirectory recursively. You can give this with the file name. This code you are saying 755600, basically it's just used to represent the read, write, execute permissions. Changing the ownership for a user, group, or a file, you can this command chown, right? And if you be looking for searching file names, you can use this find command with the path name and the file name, and you can give the reference of that file name. And like we are looking for text file, PDF file. If you want to grab some keywords, you can use a grab command. If you're searching in a big text file, you're looking for some specific text, you can use grep command. And if you were looking for searching the files recursively on all different subdirectory or directory, then you can use -rl. And text, they are looking for the directory name. The network, this is about network, right? So ping basic, very simple command sending ICMP echo request and ICMP echo response. Who is doing the lookup on that particular domain or the IP address, curl, downloading the files, trying to get the information based on URL. And secure shell SSH version port 22. It's doing a kind of remote connection, and SCP is transferring the file from one path to the remote path. And then process PS space AX running, we were running, you will get the information about the running process. Top will give you the information based on the top running processes. And if you want to kill any process, you can use the command kill and the PID. Okay, this is good information, guys. You should know about these commands. You should, when you're going the interview for a cybersecurity, or you are working as a SOC analyst, you're doing pen testing, you are not familiar with the Linux command, you should understand about these commands for sure, right? Okay, take care, guys. Bye bye. Good night.